Alright, so the preceding video was more informational, and I'm going to have you do some of the similar things that we did in that video with this circuit, except I'm not going to tell you the answers. That's going to be up to you to provide. So we're going to use our same 6 volts worth of batteries here. We'll use our same switch. I want you to use one of your light bulbs, one of your 2.5 volt light bulbs. Your unknown resistor, which should now be known to you, and then this 3 resistor bank, which we're only going to use the middle one of. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to wire your circuit from the positive of your battery source into the switch, and realize that based on the life of your batteries, these voltages are going to vary a little bit just because batteries do go down a little bit. So when you see these answers, you'll have to choose the one that's closest to the value that you think would be, and they're going to be far enough apart. There should be a good correct answer there for you. So the first thing we're going to do is use this unknown resistor that we have, that again you should know by now, either by having measured it in the previous experiment or by even measuring it now. So we're coming out of our source through our switch into our quote-unquote unknown resistor. We're going to come out of our unknown resistor here into our bulb, out of our bulb into our middle resistor, which on mine is a 10 ohm, should be on yours too. If for some reason they're in different order, make sure you're using the 10 ohm one. I'm going to reorder these on the table after I get everything connected. They just want to move around while I'm connecting them. And then I'm going to go back to my source, and we'll re-follow this path in just a moment. So we've got bulb and then resistor, and I wish I could keep them side by side, but they tend to have lines that are on, so we'll break out our handy dandy tape here, and we'll tape them in place a little bit so that we can talk about them and measure them here. So there we are. So voltage is going to come through our switch into this first resistor, out of our first resistor into our lamp, and out of our lamp into our 10 ohm resistor here, and then back to our source. Let's make sure everything's working. So we're not seeing the bulb light. That could be, actually it's very, very dim. I don't know if you can see it now. A dim bulb just basically means it's receiving voltage, but it's not receiving the voltage that it's rated at, which is fine for this experiment. But we do know that it's working. So I'm going to have you tell me the voltage across this resistor, the voltage across this lamp, the voltage across this resistor. And then I'm going to say measure from ground, measure to this point, measure to this point, measure to this point, measure to this point, and measure to this point, and measure to that point. So one lead will remain here, one will come here, here, the other I should say, one lead will remain here. Let's just do it. We'll reference our ground point, and actually I'll have you start here with the switch closed, measure here, 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 and I'm going to ask you what those voltages are. Now some of those will be duplicated, and that's okay. I want you to understand that they are and why. For instance, so what I will say is I will use the terminal colors, so make sure when you're creating your circuit you duplicate what I've got here, this red, this black, this red, this black, this red. So I will say measure the red terminal on the switch, measure the black terminal on the switch, measure the red terminal on the unknown resistor, measure the black terminal of the unknown, red terminal of a lamp, black terminal of lamp, red terminal of 10 ohm, black terminal of 10 ohm, and we will ask you that. The other thing I'm going to ask you is what is the total current of this. So again, to measure current, this is a series, so we know that current is going to be the same at any point. We have to disconnect 2 points from one another, set our meter to measure amps, and then insert our meter to reconnect those 2 points that we broke apart, and that can be any 2 points in the circuit. So that will be your challenge for this particular circuit. Again, 6-volt source, switch, unknown resistor, 2.5 volt lamp, make sure that it is your 2.5 volt lamp, and the 10 ohm or middle resistor of your circuit board here is the one that's connected. And that's going to be your challenge for this particular circuit.